Okay, now, it's Trust Yourself Thursday, and you're listening to The Sweet Spot. We've been having an amazing time this week. I kid you not. We've been embracing threats and understanding the power that comes from embracing them. Today is Trust Yourself Thursday. I'm Dr. Derek Sweet. I'm so delighted to be the host, the one that accompanies you on these Sweet Spot journeys. So today we're tackling a silent saboteur that holds many of us back, called self-doubt, and how self-doubt affects our ability to embrace threats. But we're not just going to talk about why it happens to us generally. We're going to frame this inside of neuroscience. We're going to frame this inside of ancient wisdom, and we're going to give some practical tools that we can sort of move ourselves forward out of running away from threats, out of backing down from threats, and turning and facing threats. Because as we've been seeing all week here on the Sweet Spot, threats don't go away when you run away from them. They don't disappear when you hide from them. You can put off action all you want. Ultimately, it's only action. It's only taking action and having a sort of a faith plus action attitude that ultimately gets rid of threats. And when we have self-doubt, when we start worrying, when we start not believing in ourselves, it hijacks our body, it hijacks our mind, it hijacks our relationships, and it hijacks our potential. Look, as a board-certified psychiatrist who's worked with many high performers in sports and in business, I have seen that when you second-guess your choices, be it on the court, on the pitch, in the field, anywhere that you second-guess, in the boardroom, at home, wherever you are second-guessing your choices, you're robbing yourself of the clarity and courage needed to act. And let me tell you, that action, that ability, and that courage that you need to face threats, literally is the only way out. So here's the truth. Self-doubt is a habit, but it's not a life sentence. It doesn't have to be. And the neuroscience of trust, look, I got to talk about it a little bit. I always give you a little neuroscience. And there's a brain structure called the insula. I know you're saying, thank God he didn't mention the prefrontal cortex. If he says the prefrontal cortex or the amygdala one more time, I'm going to throw up. You don't have to worry about it. Today I'm talking about the insula's role in trust, right? It's a lesser known, but it's a really important brain region that acts as our inner compass. It sort of integrates our bodily sensations, like that gut feeling you have sometimes, with our emotions and our decisions. And when self-doubt creeps in, it's the insula that's becoming hyperactive in our brain. It amplifies the worry and it disconnects us from our intuition, and the amygdala and the insula can sometimes be working together. Chronic self-doubt weakens the insula's ability to guide you towards trust. But here's the hope. Just as doubt can be learned, trust can be rebuilt, my friends. And you have to just take intentional action and be aware and move forward. That's what it takes. That's all the science is telling you. You know what? Give your insula a chance to win here and absolutely go forward. Absolutely go forward in activity and trusting and moving your feet and deciding that you're not going to sit down, you're not going to back down, and you're not going to give up. And you know what? Not just the science, but the wisdom, the ancient wisdom is going to back you up. The ancient wisdom is going to back you up. In Proverbs 24:16, it says, a righteous man falls 7 times and rises again. You may know the Japanese proverb, fall 7, get up 8. Resilience isn't about avoiding failure. It's about trusting your ability to rise even after you fall, even when you don't feel ready. In Genesis 26, Isaac dug 3 wells despite opposition. The first 2 wells were seized, but the third was what brought peace. And in the Jewish tradition, the takeaway here is that you keep digging. Trust that your persistence, even in doubt, can create the space for a breakthrough. So you see, even in the ancient wisdom, this idea of trusting in yourself when you're facing hardship, when you're facing challenges, when you're facing disappointment, even if you've fallen down 7 times, you get up, you keep rising. Even if you're digging and it doesn't seem like it's getting anywhere, keep digging. That's the idea. It's not just about your brain and your insula, it's also about your perspective, your attitude, your mindset. You have to face threats every day. Every day you face some kind of a threat. I know our immune systems do it for us and we're not even aware of it. We have white blood cells and natural killer cells and immune cells just fighting away for us. And God knows how many pathogens or invasive microorganisms we've been fighting off. But, on the spiritual level, you're also fighting doubt and fear and anxiety and worry. You're fighting actual threats. People might be hurting your finances or hurting your means of living. Whatever it is. The idea is that you must take an action. You've got to step up and you've got to fight it. One step, one action, one movement at a time. That's the idea. It's not rocket science. So how do you rewire your self-doubt? The first thing you got to do is name the doubt. Write down one area where you're second-guessing yourself. Maybe I don't feel qualified for this promotion. Maybe I'm worried that something is going to go bad for me. Whatever the doubt is. And then I want you to engage that part of the brain we spoke about earlier. Engage your insula. Pause and take a deep breath. You know what happens with the insula? It responds to bodily calm. Just by taking a nice deep breath, we talked about this a couple of days ago. Just by taking that nice deep breath, taking control of your breathing, can literally change how the brain perceives what's happening in the world. And then ask yourself, what does my gut tell me today? What does my spidey senses say? What does the Holy Spirit say inside me? However you want to ask your deeper self, ask the question after you've engaged the insula, and then act before you feel ready. This is my big message. You want to take one small step that's aligned with your goal and take the action. Just do something. Action quiets the insula's fear, it quiets the amygdala's fear, and it signals to your body and your mind that you trust in yourself and you trust in who's standing beside you, who's with you. You trust in the divine. You absolutely trust in the divine. I remember Miriam, she was a nurse, and that's not her real name, I just gave a name. A nurse, and she was an avid Sweet Spot listener. And she contacted me to tell me how much she was doubting her ability to lead and really be in charge of the team, the clinical team that she was running. We used an insula exercise where she took this deep breath to shift her mindset for 60 seconds with some mindful breathing. And just taking this one small action before she had to speak or she had to make a decision, she recalibrated her insula. And she quieted down her amygdala. And you know what happened? She began to trust her instincts. She began to feel a sense of control because she took control of the one thing she can handle, was her breathing. So just begin in a small place. That's all I'm asking you to do. And after you do that, you will see how you will grow in your self-trust. As the Talmud in Jewish wisdom speaks, who is wise? One who learns from every person. May you learn from your doubts without being ruled by them. May your insula guide you towards courage today. And may you trust the wisdom that's already within you, my friend. And I'll see you for Finish Strong Friday tomorrow. Until then, keep trusting, keep rising, and keep believing. Doubt is a teacher. It's not a tyrant. Breathe, listen, and act. Act. Even small steps. Rewire the self-doubt with action. Love and blessings, brother. Love and blessings, sister. Love and blessings, friend. This is Dr. Derek Sweet. I will see you tomorrow. And until then, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And more than that, share this message with a friend.